Hi everybody, I'm Ashley Audrain. I'm the author of The Push, which is my debut novel coming out January 5th with Pam Dorman Books. The Push is about a woman named Blythe Connor who comes from a history of women who have struggled greatly with motherhood. And she's determined that her own experience as a mother is going to be quite different, that she'll be the warm, present, committed mother to new baby Violet, the kind of mother that she never had. And then in the thick of an exhausting early motherhood, Blythe starts to feel like there's something wrong with baby Violet. She's different than other children her age, and she's sort of distant, and then she starts to act maliciously, almost dangerously, and this causes Blythe a lot of concern. But the problem is that she's the only one who sees this. Her husband, Fox, does not see the same challenges with their daughter that she does. And he thinks that this is all anxiety, that this is something that is all in Blythe's head. A few years later, they have baby Sam, who's a welcome addition to the family, and even Violet loves baby Sam. And then when something in the family goes horribly wrong, their family starts to unravel as a result, and Blythe is really forced to face the truth about her daughter, and about herself, and also about her past. And the story goes from there. It's, I think, a story that is about the expectations of motherhood, about society's expectations of motherhood, about the expectations women place on themselves, and also about this idea of unconditional love and what we owe our children, and also nature versus nurture. I think it's also a story about what happens when women's truths aren't believed and when we sort of silence women. I'm so happy to be speaking to librarians, to have a chance to just talk about how much libraries have meant to me in my life. My most visceral, most earliest memories actually are of being in the library as a little kid, where my mother used to take me all the time. I can still remember the very specific smell of the library in the town I grew up in, and really just everything about it. And then libraries have sort of stayed a huge part of my life ever since then, just through school, through university, and then also when I had my own kids. It was one of the first places that I took my son before he even understood what a library was, or probably even what a book was. But it was such a destination for us, and just sort of this escape to comfort in the library. I actually still have his very first library card, which I still keep. And I should also mention too that before I wrote this book, I was publicity director at Penguin Canada. And so of course we did events with authors all the time. And always the best events that we had, they were always at the library. In Toronto, we have a wonderful, robust, very busy library system. I think one of the busiest in the world. There are 100 branches just here in Toronto alone. And so we used to love to do our author events there because the community was so engaged, and there was nothing like that group of readers that would come to those events. And they were always just so meaningful and just such a pleasure. So I hope that when this book comes out in January that you enjoy it, but also that your library users enjoy it. And yeah, thank you for doing all that you do.